Joining us now is Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota. She's the top Democrat on the Senate Rules Committee, which means she has a key role in Wednesday's certification process, including leading the Democratic response to the challenges that Republicans are planning to raise. Senator Klobuchar, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Rachel. And let me say at the outset, 12:01 p.m. on January 20th, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to be inaugurated as the president and vice president of the United States. So if that's a de-worrier, I hope it is. That will happen. And for me, leading this effort on the Senate side, I do think it's really important for people to see that this thing was set up in the 1800s, this process. It's only been challenged twice, resoundingly defeated the objections in the past. And of course, it makes me furious, and I think it's soul-crunching, that people like Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz are leading the effort to object, to undermine the will of the voters, to step in and say, oh, we should have some audit at the last minute, when every single state in the nation, every single state has certified these results. Over 80 judges, including Trump-appointed judges, have rejected these crazy claims. We all know that. But I want your viewers to know that there is another story, and that is that, of course, the Democrats are standing tall for our democracy. But there's also Republican leaders, including today, the two Republican senators from North Dakota have joined in. And that's part of my job, is working with them to make very clear in the U.S. Senate, the leadership in the Republican Party in the Senate, people like John Thune, people like Susan Collins, and people like Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney, the former Republican candidate for president, Ben Sasse. There are a large number of Republicans who are actually standing up for the democracy. So I hope that at least calms you a bit, that in the Senate, this isn't just going to be about Democrats. It's a majority Republican right now, although I so think we can win those races in Georgia. I'm so excited about what Stacey's done and our two candidates there. But it is very clear in the Senate there's going to be bipartisan pushback against this group that is trying to undermine the will of the people of America.
So materially, in terms of the consequences of what the Republicans are going to do on Wednesday, should we expect that it's just going to make everything take a long time, and it's going to make the objections process they're going to go through is going to stretch things out and make this go on for hours longer than it needed to, but ultimately the outcome is foretold? I'm asking this in part because the president tonight in Georgia just said, I hope our great vice president comes through for us, talking about Wednesday. If he doesn't come through, I won't like him quite as much. Is there anything that the Republicans could do, or that Vice President Pence could do, that would change the way this is going to end on Wednesday?
The vice president's job is essentially a ministerial job. He cannot violate the law. And if he does something that is against that law, we can object in the House chamber, and then we'll go back and vote on it, just like we're going to vote on each state. They're focusing on 6 states, Rachel. I don't think it's a surprise to you. Arizona, and then Georgia, Michigan, and Nevada. They're focusing on Wisconsin, of course, and Pennsylvania. And if they object, if there's a senator and a House member that object to each state, the Senate goes back, debates for 2 hours, then there's votes. The House does the same thing at the same time, and each of these states could take 3 to 4 hours. So you are correct. It could go on for 24 hours. It could go on for longer. But I think in the end, because I believe that we are going to make such a strong case based on the facts, the 10 living secretaries of defense, if you just pointed out, the words of so many Republican and Democratic elected officials across the country supporting these results, saying there's no widespread fraud, including, by the way, former Attorney General Barr, including the man who led the efforts for election security at Homeland Security. So we have the facts on our side. We're picking up votes as we speak, and so we're going to win this in a big way. And I hope that that will give Joe and Kamala, when they come in, it's not just about what happens in the spectacle and how angry we are that they're doing this. That's all true. But I want them to come in when they're standing up there on that platform in front of the Capitol. They're going to have leadership of both parties behind them, because that is what we need to move our country forward, to get the vaccines out, to get our economy going, to have a U.S. Senate, and this it all depends on Georgia, that's actually going to stand up for people of Georgia and stand up for the country by making sure people get the help they need, like the $2,000 check that the Republican Senate stopped in its tracks. That's our job. And so part of this is going to be all captured on the day on Wednesday. And that is that I'm going to make this as bipartisan as I possibly can while pushing back hard against the likes of Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley. And Rachel, I'm actually looking forward to it.
I can tell that you are. I can read the relish in your voice a little bit while you're talking about it. I'm going to be part of MSNBC covering it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm bringing a sleeping bag to the studio. So
that's a good idea, and a pillow. Good idea.
Fair enough. Senator Amy Klobuchar of Minnesota, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing how this unfolds. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us.